June 30th, 2024. Brother Phil, Brother Amir, wake up everybody. Brother Phil, you've been gone for a while. I've been gone, I've been busy, but I wanted to discuss how was the family reunion?
Family reunion was beautiful, Brother Amir. It was my wife's side of the family, so on her mother's side.
Okay.
And we went down to Orlando, Florida, stayed down for a week. Very nice resorts. For anybody that's been down to Orlando, main attraction is Disneyland and all that. They have these new homes. You can rent a whole home out, like an Airbnb. 10 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, man. We had, probably 70 family members spread out between three different houses, man. Had a beautiful time.
Nice, nice, nice. I just know that in the last several years, I go home for funerals versus going home for family reunions. So the funerals have become like family reunions. Everybody get together at the wake, wherever, the resting places and whoever family's member. And I don't know how that's become because we used to do a lot of family reunions, but talking to some of my other friends and loved ones, it's the same thing. We're getting together during funerals, but anytime I hear about someone getting together during a family reunion, regardless of what side it is, that's always a beautiful thing. So the young can meet the old, interact, get a chance to learn different things, with the family members. So that's so very important, man. And I just hope we can do a better job collectively as, the black families of getting together and planning. I have a couple of my god kids' families. They've been planning for years. Every year they do something different. They're in different states. Sometimes they even leave in the country doing their family reunions, which is really nice, man. So I really love to hear that. Any chance I get a chance to hear about people getting together doing their family reunions. We did Juneteenth, here in Atlanta, last weekend before last, down at Piedmont Park, the biggest one in the country. And man, when you talk about hot, man, I was sweating for two people, man. I was like, damn, it was hot. But
They don't call it Hotlanta for nothing, but
yeah, it was a good turnout. But anytime we do events, I'm just memorized on the way our presentation has become, especially our women, man. Our women now are dressing as though they're in the house just getting out the shower. Literally, man. It's amazing, man, that we don't take pride in the way we look, man, and we can't blame anybody else on our physical appearance and things of that nature. But it's just gotten out of control, But one thing that I truly wanted to touch on, because we have so many things we want to discuss today, is that I would say almost 75% of the people and all the events that we do, when I ask them what they got going on, they may tell me high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and they always tell me it's hereditary. And there was just a study that I've been doing some research, and the study was, you know, basically looking at people's DNA, and it was checking to see what is truly hereditary when it comes to diseases. And they did a study of 5,000 families across the United States, and it was based on um, rural area, city, suburban areas, and the economics was vast. Well-to-do, medium income family, and those who are not doing that well. And the thing that was the common denominator was people that had heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, congestive heart failure, obesity. When they went into their homes, the refrigerator and their cabinets where they housed their food, and then they went and looked at their children and their grandchildren, those individuals that suffered from these major diseases all had similar things in their refrigerator, in their cabinets where they store their food. So it's not something that's hereditary, it's a habit that that's been passed down to you, and we think it's hereditary, but it's something that we just do normally. Just think about it, Brother Phil. If your parents introduced you to whatever religion it may be, Christianity, Islam, Catholic, it doesn't make a difference, right? Normally you grow up and you just follow step on what your parents gave you. Normally, if your parents are Christian, you're going to be Christian. If your parents are Muslim, you're going to be Muslim. You know, I have a lot of God kids, their parents, their fathers are sports fanatics like me and you. And like, for instance, my oldest godson, his father's a Cowboy fan. Everything in his house is Cowboy, pillows, everything. You know what I mean? His son's a Cowboy fan. And I ever asked him the same thing. I mean, y'all don't like no other team? You ain't never looked at no other team outside? I said, I already know your father gave you this because I know him all his life. And it was like something that was just mandatory that was happening in your house. It's the same thing on what we put in our bodies and how our bodies handle certain things. I just seen a video, and this brother has a farm in the Midwest. He grows corn, right? And we know corn is not something that processes through the body properly. It doesn't break down. So if you eat a lot of corn and you look at your bowel movement, you just look back, the corn is still in the same state of what you ate it, right? So corn is a modified food. Well, make a long story short, what he showed was, think about getting, because corn you could get in a can, right? And he showed it in a can, and he had the gentleman turn over the can that he bought out of the grocery store, and he read where it came from. The corn came from China, and in the back of the corn it says that this corn could cause health conditions and deadly cancer conditions. On the back of the bottle, the can that it came in. How many of us are reading what's on back of the cans? Right? How many of us are reading the ingredients? We're not doing that. So we can't keep saying the same things are happening to us or why these things happening to us if we're not, like I always say, do our due diligence. Sometimes we need a wake-up call to hear something from a different tone or a different person to make us realize that we have to pay closer attention to what it is that we're feeding our bodies, because everything that we're coming down with is one thing. It is caused by the food that we're putting in our bodies. There's no getting around that. Some of the foods that we're buying out of our grocery stores are banned in other countries. They don't even allow these foods in their country, but we continue to allow that. We're going back to the doctor. The doctor's telling you to fulfill this prescription drug. He's getting the kickback, and every month, every 6 months, it's like you're on a treadmill. You're never getting well. You just think that because you're calling, quote unquote, my doctor told me so. So many people walked to the booth last week and told me that their doctor has never mentioned anything. For instance, Celtic sea salt. We sold out of Celtic sea salt because I would say almost 26 people came up to the booth, high blood pressure. Never heard of this. I said, well, first of all, did he tell you your body's full of magnesium? The body needs to reproduce the minerals. The body loses minerals when you urinate and when you make a bowel movement. Okay, if your blood pressure is high, you normally got a magnesium deficiency. You start taking this Celtic sea salt, a pinch, you don't need much, and watch and see what happens. It does just build your blood pressure. It helps you with your sleep, but it fulfills all the other nutrients that you need in the body. So that's what we want to continue to just strive. We have an event coming up on July 13th. It's going to be at Berkmar High School in Lilburn. It's the Afro Latino Festival. It's going to be the first one in Gwinnett. I'm excited because there's so many Latinos and African Americans in that general area. I want to see how the turnout is going to be. So anyone in the area, you like events, come out to the events. There's going to be a lot of good food. There's going to be different vendors. July 13th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. in Lilburn at Brookmar High School.
Okay. Nice, good information there, brother Amir. Like everybody out there listening, health is wealth, as they state, and those two terms are a lot of the things that we'll be discussing. The health of our community and the wealth of our community. And on the family side, that's what we're all about. So, thank you.